Hey everyone! Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and boom, you spot an old penny. You think, it's just a penny. But what if that tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, that's not a typo. Today, we're talking about the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, you're going to want to check your coin jar after this video. Years ago, I was sorting through a jar of pennies, hoping to find something valuable. I wasn't an expert, just a guy who liked the idea of hidden treasure. My friend was watching me, rolling his eyes like, dude, it's just a bunch of pennies. But fast forward to today, and I'm here telling you that a single penny from 1978 can be worth over $1 million. Who's rolling their eyes now? So, how do you know if you have one of these golden, copper tickets? And what makes it so special? Stick with me, because I'm breaking it all down in the easiest, most entertaining way possible. Alright, let's start with the basics. If you flip over a 1978 Lincoln penny, you'll see the familiar profile of Honest Abe. But here's the key, there's no mint mark under the date. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1978 wouldn't have a mint mark anyway, so what makes this one worth more than your average couch cushion find? Some of these 1978 pennies were struck with a special planchet. That's the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. Certain rare versions were accidentally struck on a different metal composition, making them unique. If your 1978 penny looks like it just left the mint, shiny, no scratches, and in near perfect condition, coin collectors will pay big bucks for it. One pristine specimen recently sold at auction for over $1.1 million. Serious collectors love rare coins, and the 1978 no mint mark penny has become a must-have for those willing to drop serious cash on it. How to check if you have a valuable 1978 penny? So, you're probably itching to dig through your change right now, right? Here's how to check if your 1978 penny is special. Make sure there's no little d, Denver, or s, San Francisco, under the date. Some rare errors were made on the wrong metal planchet, so weigh your penny. A standard penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, it could be a rare error coin. If your penny is bright and crisp with sharp details, get it graded. The better the condition, the higher the value. Where to sell your rare penny? Okay, so let's say you hit the jackpot and find a what now? Don't just trade it in for another soda. Here's what to do next: send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay are great for selling rare coins. Reach out to collectors. Some serious coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar directly. Alright, so what did we learn today? That your loose change could be worth way more than you think. The 1978 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is just one example of hidden treasure floating around in our pockets every day. So next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside to check it. And hey, if you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I'm always bringing you the latest on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and smart money-making strategies. Who knows? The next coin I talk about might be sitting in your piggy bank right now. Now go check your pennies, and if you find a rare one, don't forget to let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and people who just love a good story. Imagine this, you're digging through your loose change, maybe at a gas station or while cleaning out your car, and you come across a simple, everyday penny. No big deal, right? Just another 1-cent piece that's barely worth, a cent. But what if I told you that one of these pennies, a 2014 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million? That's right. $1 million penny could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to recognize its true value. So, grab your coin jars, check your couch cushions, and stick around, because today, we're diving deep into what makes this particular penny so incredibly valuable. And trust me, you won't want to miss this, because if you're lucky, you could be sitting on a life-changing discovery. Alright, let's break it down. What makes the 2014 D Lincoln penny so special? After all, billions of pennies are minted every year. What's different about this one? The 2014 Lincoln penny, like all pennies since 1909, features the legendary Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, that's the fancy term for head side, and the Union shield on the reverse, the tail side. This particular design replaced the old Lincoln Memorial design back in 2010, and while most of these pennies are worth, a penny, a rare few have skyrocketed in value. Now, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and Denver usually produces a ton of pennies. So, why is this one so valuable? There are a couple of key factors that can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Some 2014 D pennies have errors that make them extremely rare. We're talking about things like double dies, where parts of the coin's design appear doubled, off-center strikes, or even planchet errors, which means the blank coin wasn't properly made before it was struck. If you spot one of these errors, congratulations, you might just be looking at a gold mine. Coin collectors, or numismatists if we're being fancy, are obsessed with condition. A 2014 D penny in perfect, MS70, mint state, condition is nearly impossible to find. And that's exactly why it's worth so much, because only a handful exist in flawless condition. Some pennies were mistakenly struck on the wrong metal composition, like an experimental copper-nickel blend instead of the usual zinc-coated copper. If you have one of these, jackpot. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A guy I know, let's call him Dave, was just like you, casually scrolling through YouTube, watching videos about rare coins. One day, he decided to check his pocket change. He nearly threw away a 2014 D penny because, well, it looked like every other penny. But then he took a closer look. It had an odd, almost ghostly doubling on the date. Turns out, it was a double die error. He got it graded, and boom, he sold it for $14,000 at an auction. Not bad for something he almost spent on a pack of gum, alright. Now that you're officially curious, here's what you should do: use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Yeah, that tiny little eye thing that makes you look super professional. Check the date, mint mark, and the edges for any oddities. If your penny looks shiny, uncirculated, and basically brand new, do not spend it. You might be holding a fortune. A normal 2014 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have a rare variant. If you think you've got a winner, send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it, and trust me, serious collectors won't touch a coin unless it's been officially graded. That pennies aren't just pocket change, they could be a hidden fortune. The 2014 D Lincoln penny is proof that even the most common-looking coins can be worth a life-changing amount of money if you know what to look for. Go check your coins. Seriously, after this video, dig through your piggy bank, your car's cup holder, or that junk drawer in your kitchen. You never know, you could be sitting on a $1.2 million jackpot without even realizing it. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to subscribe. I've got more crazy stories, insider tips, and strategies to help you turn everyday pocket change into serious cash. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you think you've found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that a 2008 D Lincoln penny, yes, the one sitting in your couch cushions, could be worth a whopping $1.3 million? Yep, you heard that right. A single penny, worth more than a mansion, a luxury sports car, or even a lifetime supply of coffee. And now, before you go frantically checking every penny in your pocket, sit back, relax, and let's dive into why this tiny copper coin is making some lucky collectors ridiculously rich. And trust me, you'll want to stick around because I'll also share a personal story about how I almost missed out on a valuable penny myself. So, what's so special about the 2008 D Lincoln penny? Well, it's all about errors, rarity, and of course, collectors willing to pay big bucks for them. First, let's talk about errors. Some of the most valuable coins in history owe their price tags to tiny mistakes at the US Mint. And this 2008 D penny is no exception. The ones fetching millions usually have one or more of these errors. This means Abraham Lincoln's face or the date appears slightly doubled. If Honest Abe is looking a little blurry, congratulations, you might be holding a jackpot. If the design looks lopsided, that's a minting mistake, and collectors love it. Even though we're talking about the 2008 D penny, some rare versions don't have the D at all. That's like a VIP pass to the world of rare coins. If you see weird raised bumps or cracks on the penny, it might be from a damaged die. These flaws make the coin one of a kind, and collectors go crazy for them. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how many of these million-dollar pennies are actually out there? Well, the US Mint produced billions of pennies in 2008, but only a tiny fraction have these rare errors. That's why finding one is like winning the lottery, except you don't have to buy a ticket, just check your spare change. Speaking of checking change, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny. A few years ago, I was at a coffee shop, and I got some pennies back as change. Being in a hurry, I almost tossed them into the tip jar. But something made me stop and take a quick glance. One penny looked different, a little off-center, a small crack near the date. I shoved it in my pocket and later found out it was worth a few $100. Now, imagine if that had been one of these $1.3 million 2008 pennies. I'd still be kicking myself today. That's why I always say, check your change.so. Now that you know what to look for, here's a quick step-by-step guide to spotting a potential gold mine in your penny jar. Some errors are tiny. Is it doubled or blurry? Check the date and mint mark. Is the D missing or off-center? Are there weird cracks or raised bumps? If yours looks odd, it's worth checking out. If you find a suspicious-looking penny, don't just assume it's worthless. Take it to a coin expert or use an online price guide to see if you're sitting on a fortune. Okay, let's say you hit the jackpot and find one of these rare pennies. What next? Well, you've got options. Online auction sites are great if you want competitive bidding. Sometimes, a nearby shop can offer a quick sale. Coin shows, meet collectors in person and negotiate the best price. If your penny is truly valuable, getting it graded by PCGS or NGC can increase its worth. So, there you have it, folks. The 2008 D Lincoln penny might just be the most underrated millionaire maker out there. And the best part? You don't have to dig through ancient treasure chests, just your pocket change. Now, I have a challenge for you. Go grab your penny jar, check those 2008 D pennies, and if you find something that looks promising, let me know in the comments. Who knows? You might be the next lucky collector to cash in big. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another money-making tip. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Imagine this: you go to buy a coffee, hand over some change, and the cashier just casually hands you back $1.4 million. Well, not exactly, but what if I told you that a simple 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth that much? Yep, a single penny that might be sitting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or, let's be real, under your couch cushions. Before you rush to flip over every penny you own, stick with me. In this video, we're diving into the story behind this rare and valuable coin, what makes it worth a fortune, and how you can spot one in your own collection. And hey, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I drop weekly videos on coins worth serious money so you don't accidentally spend your fortune on a vending machine snack. Alright, so let's break this down. The 2002 Lincoln penny isn't exactly ancient. This isn't some dusty relic from the 1800s. It's a fairly modern coin, which makes the fact that it's worth so much even crazier. Most pennies from 2002 have a mint mark, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But some pennies were minted without a mark, and those, my friends, are where the real treasure lies. And now, you might be thinking, okay, so a mint mark is missing. Big deal. But here's the kicker: mint errors like this, especially on newer coins, are super rare. It's kind of like finding an unopened first edition Pokemon card from the 90s in your old shoebox. They exist, but they're few and far between. How did it happen? One theory is that a few of these error coins slipped through the US Mint's quality control. Maybe someone at the Mint was having a rough Monday, or maybe they were too busy planning their lunch break. Either way, these rare no mint mark pennies made it into circulation. But here's the real shocker: one of these 2002 no mint mark pennies was sold at auction for $1.4 million. That's right, more than a brand new Ferrari, a luxury house, or a lifetime supply of tacos. Look under the date. If there's a little D or P, sorry, that's not the jackpot. But if it's blank, you might be onto something. The highest values go to coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. If yours looks like it was run over by a shopping cart, it might not hit the $1 million mark, but it could still be worth something. A quick personal story now. Let me tell you about a time I almost threw away a valuable coin. A few years back, I was going through my old childhood piggy bank, because why not? I was hoping to find some quarters for the laundromat. Instead, I found a weird-looking penny that just didn't seem right. It was shiny, looked a little different, and for some reason, I decided to Google it. Turns out, it was a rare 1995 double-die penny worth hundreds of dollars. And to think I was about to toss it in the Coinstar machine for a few cents. Since then, I always check my change, and now I'm here to make sure you do, too. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn you into an instant millionaire. So, next time you get some change back, take a closer look, because your fortune might literally be in your hands. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips coming your way, and now go check your pennies, and if you find one, don't forget to let me know in the comments. Alright, picture this: you're sifting through some old change, maybe a jar that's been sitting on your shelf for years, and bam! You spot an old penny. Just a regular, worn-out Lincoln cent, or so you think. But what if I told you that one of these could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny that could buy you a house, a fancy car, or enough tacos to last you a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most valuable pennies out there. I'll tell you what makes this coin so special, how you can spot one, and why collectors are willing to drop serious cash on it. Plus, I'll share a hilarious story about the time I almost spent a valuable penny on a vending machine snack, biggest mistake of my life. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your couch cushions for hidden treasure. Well, in 1972, the US Mint had a bit of a hiccup. Some pennies were struck with what's called a double die obverse error. Basically, the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, causing a noticeable doubling on Abraham Lincoln's face and the lettering. It's like the mint was trying to give Honest Abe a blurry, ghostly twin. This error makes the 1972 penny super rare, and collectors absolutely love rare mistakes. It's like finding a misprinted Pokemon card, except instead of cardboard, it's cold, hard cash. Alright, so let's say you've got a 1972 penny in your hand. How do you know if it's the jackpot coin? The best place to check is the date, the word Liberty, and "In God We Trust." If the letters look like they have a shadow or appear doubled, you might have something special. This means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks back then. If there's a little D or S below the date, sorry, that's not the $1 million one. Not if your penny looks like it survived a war in someone's backyard, it might not fetch top dollar. But if it's in pristine condition, you're looking at some serious cash. Okay, I promised you a personal story, so here it is. One of my biggest coin collecting regrets. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, completely starving. I reach into my pocket and pull out some change, not thinking much about it. I pop a penny into the vending machine to get a bag of chips, and as the bag drops, I take another glance at the coin slot. That's when I freezed. I panicked. I tried to reach my hand into the coin return slot like a raccoon, but it was too late. Someone else walked up, grabbed my change, and walked off. I'll never know if that was a rare 1972 double die penny, but the thought haunts me to this day. Moral of the story? Check your change before you spend it. A 1972 double die penny in circulated condition? Anywhere from $100 to $1,000. A 1972 double die penny in near perfect condition? $1.50 million. That's right, if you've got one in top-notch shape, you're sitting on a serious goldmine. So let's say you found a possible jackpot coin. What do? Take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm it's legit. The big money buyers hang out at places like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers. eBay and coin forums can be great, but be careful, scammers are out there. A great place to get your coin appraised and maybe even sell it on the spot. Alright, let's do a quick recap. The 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die error can be worth up to $1.5 million. If you have one, don't spend it on chips, trust me on this one. Instead, get it checked out and see if you're holding a small fortune in your pocket. And if you love learning about valuable coins and how to spot them, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop videos like this all the time, helping you turn pocket change into life-changing money. Also, leave a comment. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and boom, you spot a penny. Nothing special, right? Just another 1-cent coin, or is it? What if I told you that a 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a whopping $1.6 million? That's right, one little copper-colored coin could change your life. Today, we're diving deep into this crazy coin, breaking down why it's worth so much, how to identify one, and what to do if you think you have one. Plus, I'll share a personal story about a time I almost found a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well. So stick around, hit that like button, and let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2001 Lincoln penny was minted in massive numbers. We're talking billions, yes, with a B. Most of them came from the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't use a mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco. So what makes this particular penny worth millions? It's all about rare errors and unique variations. Some of these coins were struck with a double die error, meaning the design appears slightly duplicated, making them super collectible. Others were struck on the wrong metal planchet, like being accidentally made on a dime planchet instead of a copper-plated zinc one. These errors can send the value through the roof. Before you go flipping over every penny you see, let's talk about how to identify the jackpot coin. Here's what you need to look for. This means Lincoln's face or the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" look slightly doubled. If the coin looks thinner, lighter, or a different color than a normal penny, it might be struck on a dime planchet. If your coin looks fresh out of the mint with no scratches or wear, it could be a high-grade collectible. Weird lettering or misalignment. If the design looks slightly off-center or the letters appear stretched, you might be onto something. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found a jackpot coin. I was at a flea market digging through a box of old coins. My heart almost stopped when I found a 2001 penny with no mint mark that looked super weird. I showed it to the guy selling the coins, trying to play it cool like, "Oh, this old thing might be worth a little something." He leaned in, squinted at it, and said, "That's just a normal penny, buddy. 5 cents and it's yours." Okay, let's talk numbers. If your penny has one of these rare errors and is in perfect condition, collectors have paid up to $1.6 million for one of these. Even if it's not the rarest variety, some versions with minor errors can still fetch thousands at auction. Get it verified. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you if it's the real deal. Check recent auctions. See what similar coins are selling for so you know what to expect. List it for sale or hold on to it. If prices are climbing, waiting might pay off. But if you need quick cash, selling to a collector or at an auction could be the way to go. There you have it. That little penny sitting in your change jar could be worth millions. The next time you get a 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny, take a closer look. You never know, you might be sitting on a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post weekly videos about rare and valuable coins, plus insider tips on how to find hidden treasures in your pocket change. And hey, if you've ever found a valuable coin or even thought you did, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into another jaw-dropping coin that could be hiding in your pocket or that old coin jar you keep forgetting about. Imagine finding a simple penny that could be worth $1.7 million. Yep, you heard that right. A 1991 Lincoln penny has fetched that kind of cash, and today, we're going to break down why, what to look for, and how you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now, before we get into it, I have a quick question for you. Have you ever accidentally spent a valuable coin? Because I have, and let me tell you, it haunts me to this day. More on that in a bit. But first, let's talk about what makes the 1991 penny so special. So, what's the story behind this penny? The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Now, normally, these pennies are just worth 1 cent, maybe a few bucks if they're in pristine condition. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were struck with rare errors and high-quality details that make them extremely valuable to collectors. We're talking about things like double die errors, off-center strikes, and the elusive full red luster that makes a coin look like it just rolled out of the mint. If you have one of these rare error coins in the right condition, we're looking at 6 or even 7 figures in value. So how does a penny go from being pocket change to a millionaire's dream? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The 1991 penny that sold for $1.7 million had, meaning Lincoln's face was doubled in certain areas. This means the penny was kept in near-perfect condition, with no fading or darkening over time. Making it unique compared to regular pennies. Combine all of these factors, and suddenly, collectors and investors are willing to pay big bucks to own a piece of history. Alright, now let's get to the fun part. How do you know if you have one of these gems? Here's what you need to do. This isn't just for Sherlock Holmes, you're going to need it. Look at Lincoln's face and the lettering. If anything looks doubled, you might have a double die error. If it still has that bright copper red glow, you could be holding a high value coin. If the image or rim is slightly off, that's a good sign. Weigh it. A normal 1991 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's off, it could be an error coin. Not if you spot anything unusual, don't spend it. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Accidentally spending a valuable coin? Oh yeah, this still stings. A few years back, I had a 1972 double die penny, a coin that was worth over $10,000 at the time. But did I know that? Nope. I used it to pay for a pack of gum. A pack of gum. I don't even remember what flavor it was, but I do remember finding out later what I had done. Check your change before you spend it. That 1 cent might be your retirement plan, and you don't even know it. So, what have we learned today? That a 1991 D Lincoln penny could be worth $1.7 million, and that mistakes like spending rare coins on gum are painful. But most importantly, you should always check your coins because you never know what you might have. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos on rare coins, hidden treasures in your pocket, and strategies to make money from coin collecting. Plus, I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Drop a comment below. Hey everyone! Imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions, searching for some spare change, and you come across a 1976 D Lincoln penny. You're about to toss it back in the pile, but wait, what if I told you that one of these pennies is worth a whopping $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the 1976 D Lincoln penny, what makes it so valuable, what errors and features to look for, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. So grab your coin jar, and let's see if you're about to strike it rich. A little history lesson, with a twist. Alright, let's set the scene. It's 1976. The US is celebrating its bicentennial, disco fever is in full swing, and people are rocking bell bottoms like it's a national requirement. Meanwhile, at the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies are being struck. Most of them are just regular old pennies, but hidden among them are a few special ones that collectors would do anything to get their hands on. And now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. What's so special about it? Well, let me break it down. Some of these 1976 D pennies have rare errors, like a double die obverse, where the date and lettering look slightly doubled. Others have off-center strikes, missing letters, or even the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally struck on a different type of metal. Worth 1 cent. But a 1976 D penny in mint condition, no scratches, no discoloration, sharp details, can be worth thousands, even before errors come into play. Some pennies were mistakenly struck on a silver planchet meant for dimes or bicentennial quarters. If you've got one of these, congratulations, you've basically hit the coin collector's jackpot. Okay, time for a personal story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale and found an old jar full of pennies. The seller said, just take 'em for $1. $1 for a whole jar? Deal. I took them home, dumped them out, and started looking through them. And then, I kid you not, I found a 1976 D penny with a weird shine to it. I got excited, pulled out my magnifying glass, and saw what looked like a doubling on the date, but here's where I messed up. Instead of getting it authenticated, I showed it to a friend who said, it's probably nothing. So, like an absolute genius, I spent it. Yep. One day later, I realized I may have just used $1 million penny to buy a bag of chips. If you think you've got something valuable, don't spend it on snacks. Get it checked. If you have a 1976 D penny, set it aside. The D means it was minted in Denver, and that's the one we're looking for. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass and look at the letters and numbers. If they appear doubled or stretched, you might have a double die error. If Lincoln's bust looks a little off-center, that could also be valuable. Weigh at a normal penny weighs 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter or heavier, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet, which means it could be worth big money. If it's shiny, well-detailed, and has no scratches, it could be graded as MS65 or higher, which increases the value dramatically. Where to sell your rare penny? Alright, so let's say you've checked your penny, and it looks promising. What's next? But be careful of scammers. Where big-time collectors go to bid. A great place to get a second opinion. To get your coin officially graded and valued. So, what's the moral of the story? Check your pennies. You never know if you've got a hidden fortune in your pocket, your couch, or even at the bottom of your old piggy bank. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post regularly about rare and valuable coins you might have sitting around. so don't miss out. And hey, if you do find a rare 1970-60 penny, don't spend it on snacks, learn from my mistake. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, man, this thing is probably worthless? Well, hold up, before you toss the 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln penny back into the universe, you might want to check again. Because, believe it or not, there's one of these bad boys out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right, more than a house, a sports car, and definitely more than what you have under your couch cushions. Come on, a penny? Worth over $1 million? But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be running to check your spare change. I'll break down exactly why this little coin is worth so much, how to spot it, and what to do if you find one. So, grab a seat, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's dive in. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. You can tell it's from Philly because, well, it doesn't have a mint mark. Pretty simple, right? Most of these pennies are totally normal and worth just 1 cent. But, and this is a big but, there are a few that are worth life-changing money. So, what makes this penny so valuable? It's all about the errors, rarity, and condition. The $1 million version of this penny isn't just any old 2000 Lincoln cent. Here's what to look for. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally made on a different type of metal, like a foreign coin blank. If you find one that looks off in color or weight, you might have a jackpot. This is a fancy way of saying the coin was struck slightly twice, causing noticeable doubling in the lettering, like Liberty or the date. If your penny looks like it's seeing double, you're in luck. If your penny is in MS68 or higher condition, meaning it looks fresh out of the mint, collectors will pay big bucks for it. Most pennies are tossed around in pockets, vending machines, and the occasional laundry cycle, so finding a pristine one is rarer now. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station when I got a handful of change. Usually, I don't even look at pennies, I mean, who does, right? But I had just started getting into coin collecting, so I figured, why not? I checked the dates, and boom, there it was. A 2000 no mint Mark penny that looked a little different. My heart started racing. This could be it, I thought. I raced home, did some research, and took it to a coin dealer. Crushed. But hey, it was a lesson learned. And now I check my pennies like a detective solving $1 million mystery. So, if you happen to find a 2000 no mint Mark penny, don't get too excited just yet. Get it checked out by a professional grader. A verified error or high-grade penny can be worth a fortune, while a regular one will still buy you, well, nothing in today's economy. Speaking of value, the highest recorded sale of a 2000 no mint Mark penny was an insane $1.1 million at auction. That's life-changing money for a tiny copper coin. So, yes, it is possible, but only if you have the right one. Alright, folks, now you know why you should never ignore your spare change. That 2000 no mint Mark Lincoln penny in your pocket could be worth a fortune. But don't just rely on luck, learn what to look for, keep an eye out for those errors, and always check your coins. Who knows? You could be sitting on $1 million payday and not even know it. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video on valuable coins. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, man, just another 1-cent coin? Well, what if I told you that one of those could actually be worth $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1995 no mint Mark Lincoln penny has sold for that jaw-dropping amount. Now, before you go emptying your piggy bank onto the floor, stick around because today we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot it, and most importantly, how you might have one without even knowing it. Oh, and trust me, you don't want to be the person who unknowingly spends a rare penny at the gas station for a stick of gum. That would be heartbreaking. So, let's get into it. Alright, so what's the big deal with this little coin? At first glance, the 1995 no mint Mark Lincoln penny looks just like any other penny you see every day. It has good old Abe Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that coppery shine unless it's been hanging out in someone's couch cushions for years. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies were struck with a special error, specifically a double die obverse. That means if you look closely, you'll see a slight doubling effect, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust at the top of the coin. This error is what makes this penny extremely valuable to collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, so there's an error, but why is it worth over $1 million? Great question. The reason these pennies have skyrocketed in value is simple: rare errors equal big money in the coin world. The rarer the error, the more collectors are willing to pay. And in 1995, only a few of these error coins escaped into circulation, making them super desirable. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was sorting through some loose change, and I spotted a 1995 penny with no mint mark. My heart started racing. Could this be the penny? I grabbed a magnifying glass like I was some kind of detective in a crime movie, squinting at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. I swore I saw doubling. Excited, I rushed to get it appraised, only to be told it wasn't the rare double die variety. Just a regular, run-of-the-mill penny. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. But hey, lesson learned: always double-check with an expert before planning an early retirement. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect Liberty and In God We Trust. If they appear slightly doubled, you could have a jackpot penny. A penny in mint condition, MS65 or higher, is going to be worth way more than a worn-out one that's been through the laundry a few times. If you think you found one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give it an official grade, which can seriously increase its value. Now, let's talk numbers. A 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with the double die obverse in top condition has been known to sell for over $1.2 million at auctions. Even if yours isn't in pristine shape, lower-grade examples have still sold for thousands. You could literally turn 1 cent into thousands of dollars just by knowing what to look for. Who needs a lottery ticket when you have pocket change, right? So, there you have it, folks. The next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside, give it a good look. You might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in everyday coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more videos on rare and valuable coins, how to find them, and how to sell them for top dollar. Also, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin before? Or have you, like me, had a close call with a not-so-rare one? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Ever dig through your pocket change and wonder if you're holding a hidden fortune? Well, today, I've got a wild story for you about a humble little penny from 1993 that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1993 D Lincoln penny has been valued at a staggering $1.30 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. Because let's be honest, if every 1993 D penny was worth that much, we'd all be quitting our jobs and cashing in at Coinstar. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows, you might just find one hiding in your couch cushions. Alright, so the 1993 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark under the date. Now, here's the thing: this penny is normally worth, well, a penny. Shocking, I know. But there's a rare error that turns some of these coins into literal gold mines. Okay, not gold, but close enough. One of the main reasons some 1993 D pennies are insanely valuable is due to minting errors. These mistakes are what collectors go absolutely nuts over. The most famous ones? This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing. Imagine Lincoln's head looking like it's taking a casual stroll off the edge of the coin. This means some details, like Lincoln's face, the date, or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled, making the coin look like it's having an identity crisis. Every now and then, a penny gets stamped on the wrong type of metal, and that's when things get really interesting. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A collector was sifting through a jar of old pennies when he spotted something weird about one of his 1993 DS. It had an unusual shine, different from the others. Turns out, it was struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc, making it a one-of-a-kind mistake. After getting it authenticated and graded, he sold it for $1.3 million at auction. Imagine that, one penny, and boom, he's set for life. I don't know about you, but I've started inspecting my change like a detective at a crime scene. The other day, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me some pennies. I held them up to the light so intensely, the guy behind me thought I was doing some kind of science experiment. Alright, now let's get into the nitty gritty. If you want to know if your 1993 D penny is worth more than a cent, here's what you need to do. A regular 1993 D pennies are made of zinc and weigh 2.5 grams. If yours weighs around 3.1 grams, you might be holding a rare bronze error. Examine the words Liberty and In God We Trust for any doubling. If the letters look blurry or duplicated, cha-ching. If the D looks off-center or strangely shaped, it could be a valuable variety. If you think you have a rare penny, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, which can significantly increase its value at auction.so. Next time you're about to toss your spare change into a tip jar or let it collect dust in your car's cup holder, take a second look. You never know, you could be sitting on a penny worth $1.30 million. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share, and who knows? The next video might just help you find another rare penny worth a fortune. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird or valuable coin, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, imagine this. You're at the grocery store, you pay in cash, and the cashier hands you back some pennies. You barely glance at them before tossing them into your pocket. Later, you dump them into that random jar we all have at home, the one we swear we'll roll up and take to the bank one day but never actually do. Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $1.4 million? That's right, a single 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has been sold for an insane amount of money. And the craziest part? It could be sitting in your spare change right now. Today, we're diving deep into why this tiny copper coin is worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. We'll cover what makes it special, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can turn an ordinary penny into life-changing cash. So stick around because you don't want to be the person who unknowingly spends $1 million penny on a pack of gum. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1994 penny? It looks just like every other penny, right? Well, that's where things get interesting. Normally, 1994 pennies struck in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco have a D or S respectively. But a rare batch of 1994 pennies was struck with an error or unique characteristics that set them apart from the millions of regular ones. One of the biggest factors is a double die error. This means the coin was struck twice, leading to noticeable doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, or the words, "In God We Trust." Another rare variety has a wrong planchet error, meaning it was accidentally struck on a different metal, making it weigh slightly more or less than a normal penny, and when collectors find a penny like this in pristine condition, they're willing to throw down some serious cash. That's how one of these bad boys ended up selling for $1.4 million at auction. Okay, so now you're probably scrambling to find your old piggy bank, right? Before you start flipping your furniture upside down looking for loose change, let me give you a step-by-step guide on how to check for a valuable 1994 no-mint mark penny. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You don't need to be a full-time coin collector to inspect your pennies like a pro. Look for the following: doubling on letters or Lincoln's face. If anything looks a little blurry or stretched, you might have a double die error. A normal penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have a rare wrong planchet penny. If you think you have one, don't go spending it at a vending machine just yet. You'll want to get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, which are top-tier coin grading services. Alright, let me tell you a quick story that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car because, let's be honest, it was basically a mobile trash can at that point. I found a handful of pennies under the seat, and instead of checking them, I threw them into a Coinstar machine. Yep. I might have thrown away $1 million penny. Could I have had a rare 1994 no-mint mark penny in that pile? I'll never know, and that regret will stay with me forever. Moral of the story? Check your pennies, people. Don't be like me. So, let's say you actually find one of these rare pennies. What now? Well, you have a few options. Places like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers specialize in rare coins and attract serious collectors with deep pockets. Believe it or not, some rare pennies have been sold for thousands on eBay. Just make sure to get it authenticated first. Attending a coin show or visiting a reputable dealer can help you get an accurate valuation. Remember, if someone offers you $100 for a coin that could be worth $1 million, run the other way. Always do your research and get multiple opinions before selling. So there you have it, the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. Who knew that a little copper coin sitting in a jar could be worth more than a mansion? Now, before you rush off to dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I post videos just like this one, helping you discover valuable coins that could be hiding right under your nose. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Alright, folks, I have a question for you. Have you ever paid for something with cash and later thought, wait, what if that penny I just handed over was actually worth a fortune? Yeah, I know, sounds crazy, but it happens. And today, we're talking about one of those wild cases, the 1987 Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard me right. A tiny, seemingly ordinary penny from 1987 with a little D mint mark under the date has been sold for an eye-watering $1.5 million. That's not just a little pocket change, that's life-changing money. So, how does a simple copper-coated coin become worth more than a Ferrari? What makes this penny so valuable? And most importantly, could you have one sitting in a jar at home? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. First, let's set the scene. It's 1987, big hair, neon clothes, and cassette tapes are all the rage. Ronald Reagan is president, and people are jamming out to Whitney Houston and Bon Jovi. Meanwhile, at the Denver Mint, millions of pennies are rolling off the presses, including the one we're talking about today. And now, most of these pennies were completely normal zinc cores coated with copper, weighing 2.5 grams. But a handful of them? Something went very, very right, or very, very wrong, depending on how you look at it. So what makes the 1987 penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? Well, my friends, it all comes down to errors and rarity. This coin is believed to be a one-of-a-kind mint error, possibly struck on the wrong planchet, double die errors, or some other weird fluke that collectors go absolutely bonkers for. And trust me, coin collectors love errors. If a penny comes out looking a little wonky, it's like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book. Suddenly, everyone wants a piece of it. Here are some of the possible reasons this penny is worth a fortune. It may have been struck on a foreign planchet by mistake. Imagine finding a penny made of silver or some other metal. It's like hitting the coin lottery. This is when the design is slightly duplicated, making Lincoln's face look a little too 3D. If you have one, congratulations, you're basically holding a mini masterpiece. If the penny was struck off-center, collectors will go nuts for it. The more off-center, the better. Now, here's the kicker. The most famous 1987 penny with one of these errors sold at auction for $1.5 million. Imagine digging through your loose change, finding a dusty old penny, and realizing it could buy you a mansion. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I got really into coin hunting. You know, the kind where you dump out every single coin jar in your house, squint at them under a magnifying glass, and start thinking you're Indiana Jones on the hunt for hidden treasure. So one day, I'm at the grocery store, and I get a penny in my change that looks a little off. I swear, my heart started racing. Could this be the one? The golden, or copper, ticket? I rushed home, grabbed my coin book, and checked it under a bright light. Turns out it was just a regular, super worn penny. Worth exactly 1 cent. But hey, the thrill was real. And that's what keeps me, and so many others, digging through pocket change. You never know what you'll find. Your everyday pocket change could be hiding a fortune. The 1987 Lincoln penny that sold for $1.5 million proves that rare coins are out there just waiting to be discovered. So, check your piggy banks, go through your old coin jars, and keep an eye out for anything unusual. You never know, you could be sitting on $1 million penny without even realizing it. And if you want more tips on valuable coins, error hunting, and how to turn your spare change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment if you've ever found an unusual coin, and share this with a friend who might unknowingly be carrying a fortune in their wallet. Alright, picture this, you're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find enough change for a vending machine snack, and suddenly boom! You spot a 1985 penny. No big deal, right? Just another 1-cent coin. But what if I told you that little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $1.6 million for a single penny. Now, before you flip over your entire house searching for spare change, let's break it down. What makes this penny so valuable? How can you tell if you have one? And is this just a collector's dream, or could you actually cash in big? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your coin jar. So, the 1985 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark under the date. Now, normally, these pennies are about as valuable as, well, a penny. But here's where things get interesting. Rare errors and special features can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's jackpot. The reason this particular 1985 D penny is so valuable comes down to a minting error. Some pennies from this year were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they weren't supposed to be pennies at all. Others had a double die, which means the image of Lincoln or the lettering looks blurry or shadowed because it was stamped twice. And some had an off-center strike, where the design is shifted. Collectors go wild for these mistakes, and when a rare one turns up in top-notch condition, also known as MS68 or higher, the price skyrockets. That's how one of these little copper wonders reached $1.6 million at auction. Alright, so now that we know these bad boys exist, how do you find one? Here's what to look for. Check the lettering on the coin, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look blurry or have a shadow effect, you might have a winner. If Lincoln's face isn't centered or part of the design is missing, that's a rare error worth big bucks. If the coin looks weirdly shiny, heavier, or lighter than a normal penny, it might have been struck on a different metal, making it a super rare find. High-grade condition, even without errors. If your penny looks fresh out of the mint with no scratches, it could be worth serious cash. A personal story, my near miss with a rare penny. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost struck gold, but didn't. A few years ago, I was going through my grandfather's old coin collection. He had jars and jars of pennies. I was halfway through sorting when I spotted a 1985 D penny that looked weird. The color was off, the design seemed slightly shifted, so I got excited. I took it to a local coin shop, convinced I had found my $1 million ticket. The guy at the counter pulls out his magnifying glass, studies it for a few minutes, and then looks at me like I just asked if I could trade it for a Ferrari. Turns out, it was just a slightly worn-down regular penny. Devastating. Most of these rare finds show up in the least expected places. People have found $1 million coins in their pocket change, old piggy banks, and even stuck in car cup holders. You never know where your hidden treasure might be, so, let's say you check your coin jar and bam, you've got a 1985 D penny that looks suspiciously valuable. What's next? Before listing it for sale, take your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These guys will examine it and tell you exactly how rare and valuable it is. If someone offers you $50 for your coin and you know it's worth much more, run. Always sell through reputable auction houses or trusted dealers. Coins like these do best at major auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, where serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar. CONCLUSION. Alright, so now you know the 1985 D Lincoln penny isn't just any penny, it could be a life-changing jackpot. With error coins, high-grade specimens, and the right buyer, your pocket change could be worth more than a new car, a house, or even an early retirement. Now, before you sprint off to check your couch cushions, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I post videos all the time about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and strategies for turning spare change into serious cash. You don't want to miss the next big find, and hey, if you do find a valuable penny, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Who knows? Your discovery might be the next video. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine this, you're going through some loose change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, when bam, you stumble upon a regular-looking penny. But what if I told you that this regular penny could actually be worth a staggering $1.7 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're talking about the 2017 P. Lincoln penny, a modern-day treasure hiding in plain sight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. What could possibly make it worth that much? Trust me, I thought the same thing until I started digging into the details. And let me tell you, the story behind this penny is absolutely wild. So, if you've got a jar of pennies lying around, you might want to grab it because by the end of this video, you could be a millionaire. The story behind the 2017 P. Lincoln penny. First things first, what makes this penny special? In 2017, to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint, something happened that had never happened before in history. The Philadelphia Mint did something shocking. They put a P mint mark on a Lincoln penny for the first time ever. That's right. Before 2017, Philadelphia minted pennies had no mint mark. But to honor this historic occasion, they added a little P under the date, and just like that, history was made. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most 2017 P pennies are only worth face value. But a few rare ones have errors or unique qualities that make them worth a fortune. Alright, let's talk money. If you find a 2017 P penny in your change, don't get too excited just yet. Most of them are common. But some rare errors and special features can skyrocket their value. Here are the key things that can make your 2017 P penny worth a life-changing amount. This is the biggest reason why certain pennies sell for insane amounts. Look for, if Lincoln's face or the lettering looks slightly doubled, you might have a jackpot coin. If the design is shifted off to the side, that's a rare find. If you see raised, extra metal blobs on the surface, that's another valuable error. Coins are graded from 1 to 70. If your penny is graded MS67 or higher, it can be worth thousands even if it has no errors. Why? Because finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. The color of the penny also matters. Copper coins come in 3 shades: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A full red 2017 P penny in pristine condition is what collectors are after. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Did a 2017 P penny actually sell for $1.7 million? Yes, but under very specific conditions. A collector paid this record-breaking amount for a one-of-a-kind, flawless error penny with a super high grade and extreme rarity. It's basically the holy grail of 2017 P pennies. Probably not. But can you still find a 2017 P penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Absolutely. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was at a gas station and I got some change back. Among the pennies was a 2017 P penny. At first, I didn't think much of it. But then I remembered hearing about rare pennies from that year, so I took a closer look. It had a tiny die crack running through Lincoln's eye. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and started researching. I sent it in for grading, and while it wasn't the $1.7 million version, it still ended up being worth over $800. Not bad for a penny I almost tossed into a tip jar, so trust me, checking your pocket change is worth it. You never know what you might find. Alright, now that you know what to look for, it's time for you to check your coins. If you've got a 2017 P Lincoln penny, grab a magnifying glass and inspect it closely. Look for errors, check the color, and see if it's in high-grade condition. Who knows? You might be sitting on a hidden fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, smash the like button and hit subscribe. I post videos every week on hidden treasures in your pocket change and how to turn coin collecting into serious cash. Got a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing about amazing finds from you guys. Alright, coin lovers, buckle up because today we're talking about a 2013 Lincoln penny. Yes, just a regular old penny that you might have in your pocket right now that's worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. That's right, a single cent that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or even erase your student loans. Well, almost. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? How does a modern penny end up being worth millions? Well, stick around because we're about to break it all down. What makes this penny so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and of course, the best ways to check your change so you don't accidentally spend a fortune on a pack of gum. And make sure to watch until the end, because I'll share a crazy personal story about the time I almost spent a valuable coin without realizing it. It still haunts me. So, first things first, what's so special about the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny? After all, it looks like every other penny, right? Well, not exactly. This specific penny isn't just any regular 2013 coin, it's got some serious errors that collectors go wild for. And when collectors want something, they're willing to drop some insane cash to get it. One of the biggest reasons behind this penny's value is a major minting mistake. It could be, this means parts of the design look blurry or doubled, especially on Lincoln's face or the lettering. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on older copper planchets instead of zinc, making them super rare. If Lincoln's face looks a little off, like he's trying to escape the coin, that could be a jackpot. Not every 2013 penny is worth a fortune, so don't go flipping your couch cushions just yet. You have to know what to look for. Alright, Here's the fun part: how to see if your 2013 penny is the one that could change your life. First, grab a magnifying glass. Yes, really. We're about to become detectives. If the numbers look doubled or stretched, that's a clue. If his profile looks blurred or shifted, you might be onto something. A normal 2013 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but if yours is 3.1 grams, it could be one of the rare transitional errors. And if you think you've got something special, don't just throw it on eBay for $5. Get it professionally graded. A certified coin expert can confirm if you're holding a jackpot. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my drawer. It looked weird, like the lettering was doubled. But at the time, I wasn't into coin collecting, so I did what any normal person would do: I spent it on a vending machine snack. Yep, just casually gave away what could have been a rare and valuable coin for a bag of chips. Fast forward to when I actually got into coin collecting, I learned that the exact type of penny I had that same year, same error, sold at an auction for over $100,000. I still wake up at night thinking about it. So don't be like me, check your pennies before you spend them. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.8 million if it has rare errors. Always check your change, because valuable coins can be hiding in plain sight. Never spend a penny without checking it first. Trust me, you don't want to learn the hard way like I did. Now, if you found this video helpful or just entertaining, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video about valuable coins. I'm always sharing tips on how to find rare coins in your pocket change, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Also, if you have any cool coin finds, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, probably looking for a few cents to pay for a coffee, and bam! You spot a 1988 penny. No big deal, right? Just a common old penny. But what if I told you that a special 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is worth a staggering $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny could change your life. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions and emptying that old jar of pennies, let me tell you exactly what makes this penny so special and how you can spot one. Trust me, after this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. So, grab a snack, sit back, and let's talk about how this little copper coin became one of the most valuable modern pennies ever. Alright, let's start with the basics. Most pennies from 1988 were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark, mainly proof coins. Now, a regular 1988 penny? Worth a whole 1 cent, not exactly retirement money, but there's a special error that makes one version of this penny worth over $1 million. And the error is so tiny, most people have no idea it exists. So, what makes this little guy so valuable? It all comes down to a minting mistake, specifically, the transition between the 1988 and 1989 pennies. The 1988 penny should have a certain style of lettering, particularly in the designer initials FG, Frank Gasparo, on the reverse, near the Lincoln Memorial. But some 1988 pennies accidentally got the FG style that was meant for the 1989 penny. Yep, one little misprint, and boom, it's suddenly worth more than your car, maybe even your house. Look at the reverse side where the Lincoln Memorial is. Check the initials FG right next to the base of the memorial. If the letters look different from the normal 1988 penny, you might just have a jackpot coin. This error is so subtle that most people never notice it. That means there could still be undiscovered million-dollar pennies floating around in jars, drawers, and even in your spare change. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my friend Joe, let's call him Lucky Joe for this story, was going through his dad's old coin collection. Just a dusty old box of pennies, nothing fancy. He almost tossed them in a coin machine, but then he remembered hearing about rare pennies being worth big money. So, he took out a magnifying glass, started checking the coins one by one, and guess what? He found a 1988 no mint mark penny with the rare FG error. At first, he thought, hey, maybe it's worth a couple bucks. But when he got it appraised, the thing was worth 6 figures, always. You never know when you might stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. How much could yours be worth? Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these special pennies, you might be looking at serious cash, but if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, we're talking over $1.1 million at auction. A tiny copper penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini. Crazy, right? So, let's say you think you have one. What do? Don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually lower its value, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, listed at a reputable auction, Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or even eBay. Alright, coin hunters, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth $1.1 million. Who would have thought a tiny mistake could lead to such a huge payday? Now, before you rush off to dig through your change, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos on rare coins, valuable errors, and hidden treasures every single week. Also, if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, coin hunters. Have you ever found a penny and thought, this thing is basically worthless? Well, hold on, what if I told you a regular-looking 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? That's right. A single cent could be hiding a fortune right in your pocket. Changed. I know what you're thinking, how in the world does a modern penny become so valuable? Is it rare? A mistake? Did Abraham Lincoln personally bless it? Don't worry, I've got all the answers. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and, most importantly, how you can turn your pennies into a small fortune. So, if you've got a jar full of loose change sitting in your house, get ready, you might want to start digging through it by the end of this video. Let's get into it. Most pennies from 1994 were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. If a penny has a D or S mint mark, it's from Denver or San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark, it means it was made in Philadelphia. Normally, that's not a big deal because billions of these were made. But here's where it gets interesting, some of these 1994 no-mint mark pennies have rare errors or unique characteristics that collectors go absolutely crazy for. And when coin collectors get crazy, prices skyrocket. So, what exactly makes this specific 1994 penny worth more than a house? Here are the key things to look for. Some of these pennies have a slight doubling in the lettering or date. If you look closely and see a shadow or doubling on words like Liberty or In God We Trust, you may have hit the jackpot. Off-center strike. If your penny looks like it was printed while someone was half asleep at the mint, with part of the design off to the side, that's a rare error that can boost the value. This happens when the coin die starts breaking, leaving cracks or raised bumps on the penny. Some collectors love these because they're unique or wrong planchet errors. This is the golden ticket. If a 1994 penny was accidentally struck on a silver or foreign coin planchet, congratulations, you just found a 6 or 7 figure coin. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a gas station, paying with cash. Yes, I still use cash sometimes. The cashier hands me my change, and I toss the pennies into my cup holder without a second thought. A few days later, I'm watching a YouTube video, just like this one, about rare coins, and I remember those pennies. I start digging through my car, and lo and behold, I find a weird-looking 1972 penny with a slight doubling on the date. It wasn't worth $1 million, but I sold it for $150. Not bad for a penny I almost ignored, right? Always check your change. Imagine if I had a 1994 no-mint mark penny and let it slip through my fingers. That's the kind of regret that keeps you up at night. So now you're probably itching to check your pennies. Here's what you need to do, as some of these errors are tiny, and you don't want to miss them. Check for doubling on the date and letters. Look especially at Liberty and In God We Trust. Inspect for weird shapes or cracks. If the coin looks slightly broken or off-center, it could be valuable. A normal 1994 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could be a wrong planchet error, which is check online auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or PCGS to see what similar coins are selling for. If you think you found a rare 1994 penny, don't clean it. Cleaning can actually lower its value. Instead, put it in a small coin holder or envelope and take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will certify your coin and give it an official grade, which can significantly increase its value. Well, you might just be sitting on a $1.2 million treasure. Not a bad way to make some money, right? The 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into serious cash. If you've made it this far, you're now armed with the knowledge to hunt for hidden treasures in your pocket, car, or that giant jar of coins on your shelf. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and hit subscribe for more tips on valuable coins, money-making strategies, and everything you need to know about collecting. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey, what's up, coin collectors? Have you ever stumbled upon a coin, took one look at it, and thought, could this be the next big thing? Well, I've got a little nugget of knowledge for you today that's going to make you want to dig through your old change jar, or even that drawer with the receipts and forgotten pens, just to see if you've been holding onto a hidden treasure. I'm talking about the 1973 D. Abraham Lincoln penny. This little coin might just be worth way more than you thought, with a current market value of around $1.3 million. Yup, you heard that right, over $1 million. But before you run off to check your piggy bank, let's break this down so you understand what makes this coin so valuable and what to look out for. Alright, let's start with the basics. Most of us have seen the 1973 D penny. It's not exactly rare by itself, right? It's your typical copper penny with good old Abe on the front, and it was minted in 1973 at the Denver Mint, marked by the D Mint mark. So what makes this penny worth such a staggering amount? It's all about a little thing called a mint error. See, most of the 1973 D pennies were made perfectly fine, but a very few, just a handful, had an unusual feature that makes them incredibly rare. These pennies have an error in the way they were struck, which is something that usually happens when a coin is in the production line and something goes a bit, well, sideways. It could be anything from a double strike to a misalignment, or in some cases, the die being worn out. These flawed pennies are what make them valuable to collectors who are willing to pay big bucks for a coin with something that makes it stand out from the rest. Well, there are a few things to look for. First off, check the details. If the details on the coin are unclear or there's a noticeable doubling of features, like on Abe's face or the lettering, that's a big red flag that it might be an error coin. The real treasure comes when you find a coin that was struck with an extra layer of metal, or a coin with a weak strike on one side, leaving the other side super sharp. These coins are the ones that collectors are out there hunting for. Here's a little story to make things more relatable. A while ago, I found a coin that I thought was just another old penny. I was sitting on my couch, flipping through some loose change I found in my car. There it was, a 1973 D penny. But something about it caught my eye. The edge looked a little off, and the design wasn't as sharp as the rest of the pennies. I didn't think much of it, but I threw it into my coin pile just in case. Fast forward a few weeks, and I finally decided to check the value online. Guess what? It wasn't worth 1 cent. Nope. It was worth a cool $100. I thought, okay, I'm no coin expert, but maybe I've got something here. Moral of the story, you never know what treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. And now, not every 1973 D penny will be worth millions, but they could still be worth a lot more than face value depending on the condition. Coins with higher grades, meaning they're in better shape, tend to go for more money. It's like finding a vintage comic book in mint condition versus one with a bent cover and dog-eared pages. The better the condition, the better the price. Let's dive into what makes these coins such valuable collectibles. The 1973 D penny in perfect condition is hard to come by, and this is where rarity kicks in. In the world of numismatics, yeah, that's the fancy word for coin collecting, rarity plays a huge role in a coin's value. But not just rarity, collector demand is a biggie. People are always looking for that rare piece to complete their collection, and when it comes to coins with errors, that demand skyrockets. If you think about it, it's kind of like a limited edition sneaker drop. When only a handful of people get their hands on something, the value increases like crazy. But if everyone has one, it's not so special. The same applies to these rare coins. Collectors are out there hunting for these error coins, and they'll pay big bucks to get them. Alright, so now you know what makes the 1973 D Lincoln penny potentially worth a fortune. It's all about those little minting errors, and if you've got one, then you might just be sitting on a goldmine. But the thing is, these coins are rare, so don't go thinking every penny from that year is worth $1.3 million. Still, checking your coins never hurts, and you never know when you might uncover something valuable. So, here's my call to action for you: get out there, dig through your old coins, and keep your eyes peeled for those rare finds. And if you're enjoying these coin tips, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of content coming your way with more money-making coin tips and hidden gems in your change that might just be worth a small fortune. And hey, maybe next time I'll help you find the next big thing, whether it's a rare penny or a mint condition quarter. What if I told you that this tiny penny, worth just 1 cent, could actually be worth a small fortune? Hold on to your wallets, folks, because today, we're talking about a 2016 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. And no, I haven't been hitting the coin jar too hard, well, maybe just a little bit. Now, I know you're probably thinking, how in the world does a regular 2016 penny get to be worth so much? Well, grab your magnifying glasses and your coin collecting dreams, because I'm about to break it down for you in a way that'll have you looking at pennies and your change jar like a true collector. So, let's get the basics straight before we dive into the really exciting part. The 2016 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a penny, well, from 2016. But here's the kicker: no mint mark. If you've ever looked at a penny and wondered where the mint mark went, that's your first clue that this coin is special. If you're like me, you've probably never thought twice about mint marks, until now. Mint marks are usually located under the year on a penny and tell you where it was made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But sometimes, the coins made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark at all. That's where the rare ones pop up. Now, why is the 2016 no mint mark penny so valuable? Simple errors. While most pennies don't make the headlines, a penny without a mint mark from this year is pretty rare. See, in 2016, they had a production error where some of the coins got released into circulation without the mint mark. So, collectors went nuts for these. The 2016 no mint mark penny started showing up in the market, and boom, its value skyrocketed to $1.4 million for the rare ones in perfect condition. Look at this beauty. In perfect condition, this little guy is worth a lot more than just the change in your pocket. But don't get too excited just yet. Just because your penny is from 2016 doesn't automatically mean it's worth a fortune. If it's worn down, scratched, or bent out of shape, it's not going to bring in $1 million. But if you've got one that's in mint condition, well, you've got yourself a nice payday. Now, you might be wondering, how do I tell if my 2016 penny is worth all that cash? Great question. You'll want to check a few things. First off, it needs to be in pristine condition. No scratches, no rust, no signs of being passed around like a hot potato at a family gathering. Second, look for the details. The finer the detail, the higher the value. If you can still read the Liberty clearly and see the perfect lines in Lincoln's beard, then you've got yourself a gem. Now, I've got a fun little story to share with you. I remember one time I was at a coin show surrounded by dealers and collectors who looked like they were ready to trade rare gold or something. I was just there browsing, not expecting to make any deals. Then I spotted an old lady selling a little coin album at a table. She didn't seem like she was too into the coin thing, just casually flipping through it. So, I picked up a coin, casually, maybe a little too casually, and boom. It was a 2016 no mint mark penny, and it was in almost perfect condition. I didn't realize what I had at first. I thought, what are the odds? So, I asked her how much she wanted for it, and she said, oh, I don't know, like 50 cents? Maybe $1? You guys, I almost choked on my coffee. But of course, I didn't want to look too eager, so I said, sure, I'll take it. The rest of the day, I was practically dancing around the convention floor, trying to hide my excitement. Later, I got it appraised, and it turns out, ding ding ding. It was worth a lot more than I had bargained for. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you'll find that hidden gem in the most unexpected places. And that leads me to this: do you have a coin jar somewhere in your house? If you're anything like me, it's the "I'll get to it later" drawer. Maybe it's time to dig in and start looking for those valuable pennies that could be sitting right under your nose. So there you have it, 2016 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln pennies are a rare find, and if you happen to have one in perfect condition, you could be sitting on a goldmine or at least a $1.4 million penny. But remember, it's all about the condition. And who knows, maybe the next time you check your change jar, you'll find that little treasure hiding inside. If you're excited about this penny or curious about other coins worth big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on more tips and strategies for finding valuable coins that could make you a small fortune. And hey, if you find one of those pennies, be sure to send me a picture. What's up, coin collectors and curious minds? You've probably got a ton of pennies laying around your house. Maybe some are just sitting there, waiting to be tossed into a jar, while others could be hiding a serious treasure. Today, we're talking about one of those very pennies, the 1995 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you think that your pocket change is just that, change, think again, because this little guy might just be worth a lot more than you think now. I know what you're probably thinking. A penny? Really? But stay with me here because I'm about to tell you how a 1995 D penny can be worth upwards of $1.5 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.5 million. And I'm not talking about the price of a really rare antique penny. I'm talking about a regular 1995 D penny if it's got the right error on it. Sounds crazy, right? But trust me, this penny is no joke. So, grab your magnifying glass, because this penny might be lurking in your collection right now. Alright, let's break it down. The 1995 D penny itself is a pretty common coin. It was minted in, you guessed it, 1995, and the D indicates that it was struck in Denver. Most of these coins are worth just 1 cent, a total letdown, right? But here's where it gets wild. A small percentage of these pennies have an error that can make them worth way more than face value. I mean, we're talking millions here and now. Before you start pulling out every single 1995 D penny you've got, let's clarify, not all of them are worth this much. But if you've got one of the rare double die pennies, your penny could be worth a serious amount. What does that mean? Well, a double die error happens when the die used to stamp the coin is misaligned, meaning the design gets stamped twice. So instead of a nice, neat Lincoln, you get a doubled image like Lincoln's head and the date being blurry or overlapping. It's like the mint made an accidental copy of the penny, and that's the key to its value. When you have a 1995 D penny with this double die error, collectors go crazy. It's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. And why does it get so much love from collectors? Because it's rare and unique. It's like finding a rare baseball card or a misprinted piece of money in a Monopoly game. It's a treasure. These rare double die 1995 D pennies can sell for up to $1.5 million. I mean, can you imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny that could change your life? I know, it sounds like a fantasy, but it's a reality for a lucky few. Okay, enough with the excitement. Let's talk about how to check if your 1995 D penny is one of these rare beauties. It's actually pretty simple to spot the double die error. All you need is a magnifying glass and some sharp eyes. First, check out the date and Lincoln's features on the front of the penny. If you notice that the numbers in the date or Lincoln's face look a little off, like they've been stamped twice, congratulations. You've got yourself a double die penny, and now, here's where it gets a little more tricky: grading. If you think your 1995 D penny has the error, you'll want to have it professionally graded by a coin grading service to determine its condition and authenticity. If it's in mint condition, you're looking at a serious payday. But if it's worn or not in great shape, you'll still get something for it, just not quite $1.5 million. Hey, I said it's a possibility, not a guarantee. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I went through a phase where I was obsessed with coin hunting. I was scouring rolls of pennies like a mad scientist in the search for my next big find. I came across a 1995 D penny that looked a little suspicious. It had a weird look to it, kind of like Lincoln had been in a weird dream sequence or something. So, I tossed it into a pile of maybe coins. Fast forward a few months, I was showing some coins to a friend who's a big collector, and he immediately pointed at that exact penny. "Dude, do you know what this is?" he asked. I thought I'd struck gold. Turned out, I'd been mistaken. It wasn't the rare double die error, but my face turned beet red because I thought I was about to become a millionaire. Long story short, I didn't, but it was a great lesson in checking your coins carefully. So, I learned the hard way to never overlook anything that seems a little off. So, now that you know all about the 1995 D penny and how it could be worth up to $1.5 million, what are you going to do with this information? Well, it's time to start checking your pocket change, your coin jars, and your old coin collections. You never know when you might just stumble upon one of these gems. It's like a treasure hunt right in your own home, and who knows, maybe you'll get lucky, but don't just sit there with a pile of pennies in your hands wondering if you've got $1 million coin. Keep learning, keep searching, and remember that there are tons of other valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. I'll be right here bringing you the latest tips and tricks on how to find these hidden treasures, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you want more insights on which pennies and coins are worth money, make sure to follow along with me. And hey, maybe next time, I'll be the one telling you that your coin is worth millions. Catch you in the next video. End screen with subscribe button and a few video suggestions popping up on the screen. Alright, folks, if you enjoyed today's adventure into the world of rare coins, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more coin collecting tips. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? So, picture this: you're digging around in your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and you stumble upon a penny that looks a little different than the others. Maybe it's shinier, maybe it's just sitting there like it's the king of all pennies. Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $1.6 million? Yup, you heard me right, $1.6 million. Sounds like something out of a treasure hunter's dream, right? But it's not a dream, it's the reality of the 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this specific penny, breaking down why it's so valuable, what makes it so rare, and how you could potentially be sitting on a gold mine, well, a copper mine. If you've ever wondered why some pennies are worth so much more than others, stick around because you'll definitely want to know about this one. Trust me, it's worth your time. It doesn't sound that special, right? You're probably thinking, a penny? Worth a fortune? Yeah, sure. But hold your horses. Not all pennies are created equal. Some are born to shine while others, well, let's just say they end up in a jar with a bunch of lint and forgotten receipts. Normally, every coin produced by the US Mint has a mint mark to indicate where it was made. So, if you're looking at a penny, you're probably used to seeing a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But with the 2014 no mint mark penny, there's nothing. Zilch. Nada. No mint mark, you might be wondering, why is that a big deal? Good question. The short answer is rarity. The 2014 no mint mark penny was a result of a weird production error. Normally, when a coin is produced in one of the US Mint facilities, it's supposed to have a mint mark. But this batch of 2014 pennies didn't. And that mistake made them highly sought after by collectors. Only a limited number of these no mint mark pennies were released into circulation. It wasn't like they were mass produced by the billions, like most pennies. It's a mistake that turned into a rarity, and we all know that in the coin world, rarity equals value. Okay, so this penny is rare, but how did it get to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Well, the story goes like this. After the US Mint realized that a batch of 2014 pennies didn't have their mint marks, they did what any logical person would do: they pulled them out of circulation. But, here's the thing, not every penny got pulled out. Some lucky ones snuck through the cracks and made their way into the hands of collectors and eagle-eyed coin enthusiasts. Fast forward a few years, and collectors started noticing something special about these pennies. The scarcity of these no mint marks, combined with the historical oddity of the error, made them a hot commodity. They were a mistake, but a valuable one, and that's how this little penny made its way into the world of rare coin sales, reaching prices of $1.6 million. Imagine that, a penny worth more than some people's homes. I mean, I've spent more than $1.6 million on coffee in my life, so finding one of these pennies feels like I just hit the jackpot. Alright, let's get to the part where we all start checking our wallets. So, how do you know if you've got a 2014 no mint mark penny? First, take a look at the coin. It should be a 2014 penny with no mint mark under the year. Pretty simple, right? But here's where it gets tricky. Just because a penny doesn't have a mint mark doesn't mean it's the right penny. There are a lot of fake or altered pennies out there, and not all of them are worth $1 million. So, it's important to do a bit of research or get a professional opinion if you think you found one. Now, before you go rummaging through every single penny you own, let's talk about condition. You can't just find a penny and expect it to be worth $1 million if it looks like it's been through a war. Coin collectors are picky, and the value of a coin is heavily influenced by its condition. The better the condition, the more it's worth. So, if your 2014 no mint mark penny looks like it was used as a chew toy by your dog, unfortunately, it's not going to be fetching that $1.6 million price tag. Ideally, you're looking for one in excellent or uncirculated condition, free of scratches, discoloration, or heavy wear. The more pristine it is, the higher its value. Now, let me tell you a little story. I remember one time I was at a garage sale, no lie, looking for vintage records and random knickknacks, and I came across a jar of loose change. Just sitting there. I was feeling lucky that day, so I tossed a couple of bucks at the seller and took the jar off their hands. When I got home, I started sorting through the coins, the classic look for silver routine. To my surprise, I actually found a couple of old coins that were worth way more than I'd paid for the whole jar. It was like finding a hidden treasure in the middle of a pile of junk. And while none of them were $1.6 million pennies, it was a reminder that sometimes you can stumble across something amazing when you least expect it. So, if you're out there digging through your change, don't just pass over those pennies. You never know, you could be holding onto a tiny fortune. Alright, coin hunters, now that you know all about the 2014 no mint mark penny, it's time to start checking your piggy banks, couch cushions, and junk drawers. Who knows, maybe you'll find the next big coin that will put you on the map as a rare coin collector. If you loved this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on rare coins, strategies for finding hidden gems, and fun stories about what's worth money in the world of coins. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Stay tuned for more, and happy hunting! Hey there, coin lovers! Ever find yourself rummaging through your change jar, hoping for that elusive gem that's going to turn you into a millionaire? Well, let me tell you, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Picture this: you're sitting on a couch, flipping through your pennies like they're just junk, and then boom! You pull out a 1992 mint mark Lincoln penny, and guess what? You've got a coin that's worth $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this guy pulling my leg? But no, my friend, this penny is real, and it's worth way more than your average coin. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the world of this valuable little treasure, breaking down everything you need to know about the 1992 Lincoln penny and why it's worth way more than the face value of 1 cent. Okay, before we get into the juicy stuff, let's backtrack a little. The 1992 Lincoln penny, as you can probably guess, has that classic Lincoln on the front and a nice simple D mint mark under the date. So far, so normal, right? Here's where it gets interesting: this coin's value doesn't come from its design or the shiny copper it's made of. No. The real value comes from something a bit more rare: its error. You see, the 1992 penny has an interesting history. It was minted during a time when the US Mint was messing around with different processes and machinery, and some of those pennies came out with a double die error. That means the coin was struck twice, causing Lincoln's portrait and other elements to appear blurry and more pronounced. For coin collectors, that blurry, overstruck look is the jackpot. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, alright, I've seen these blurry coins before. Why are these worth millions? Great question. It's all about rarity and condition. A 1992 penny with this double die error is rare, super rare. There aren't many of them floating around out there, and even fewer in mint condition. And when something's rare, it automatically shoots up in value. How can I tell if my 1992 penny has this error? Well, here's the good news: you don't need a magnifying glass or a microscope. If you look closely at the word Liberty and the date 1992, you should be able to spot some double outlines. It looks a little bit like a shadow behind the original image, kind of like how some people look when they've been up all night watching Netflix. You can also spot it in Lincoln's hair and the motto, "In God We Trust." It's subtle but distinct. Now, let's talk numbers. A typical 1992 penny is worth about 1 cent, right? But a 1992 with a double die error? That little guy can fetch upwards of $1.7 million. That's right, if you happen to have one of these pennies tucked away in your drawer, you're basically sitting on a gold mine. It's crazy, but that's the beauty of the coin world. One minute you're thinking you've got pocket change, and the next minute, you're an accidental millionaire. And here's a fun story for you. A while back, I was going through my own coin collection, thinking about how rich I could get if I ever found something valuable. I remember finding a penny and getting all excited because it looked kind of different. After a bit of research, I realized it wasn't anything special. It was just a 2005 penny with a weird discoloration. Turns out, I had gotten my hopes up for nothing. But imagine my surprise when I started digging deeper and found out about this 1992 double die penny. It's like finding out your neighbor's house is worth millions and you've been sitting next to them all this time. That's the moment when you realize you're in the wrong business, so let's talk strategy for finding these rare coins. First of all, you've got to be thorough when checking your pennies. Not all errors are going to be obvious at first glance. Inspect each coin with care, especially when you're dealing with pennies from 1992 and other years. Make sure you're checking both the obverse, that's the front, where Lincoln's face is, and the reverse, the back with the Lincoln Memorial or shield, depending on the year. Next, don't be afraid to pull out a magnifying glass or even a jeweler's loupe. I know, you might feel a bit like a coin detective, but trust me, it'll be worth it when you find that rare gem. You might not hit the jackpot every time, but the hunt itself is half the fun now. I'm sure you're wondering, how do you actually sell one of these $1,000,000 pennies? First, it's crucial to get your coin graded by a professional. This is where the experts come in, and they'll confirm whether or not your penny is the real deal. Once it's certified, you can list it at auctions or sell it through reputable dealers. Just make sure to do your homework first. Scams are out there, and you don't want to be taken for a ride. So, there you have it. The 1992 D Lincoln penny, with its double die error, is one of the most exciting coins to look for in your collection. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these rare pennies, you could be holding a coin worth millions. And hey, even if you don't find one, the thrill of the hunt and learning about these rare treasures is what makes coin collecting so much fun. Who knows? Your next penny might be the one that makes you a millionaire. Before you go, do me a huge favor. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and coin strategies coming your way. You don't want to miss out on the next big find. Plus, I promise I'll make it just as fun and informative as this one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. Now, before you go dumping out your piggy bank all over the floor, trust me, I've done it. Let me tell you about a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that sold for nearly $2 million. And guess what? There's a chance you could have one sitting in your jar of old coins right now. So, stick around because today, we're diving deep into why this little penny is worth a fortune, how to check if you have one, and some crazy stories from people who cashed in on rare coins. Plus, I'll tell you about the time I thought I found a rare penny, only to embarrass myself in front of a coin dealer. Spoiler alert, it did not go as planned. And now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What's the big deal? Well, here's the thing, most 1991 pennies were made at the Philadelphia Mint, and while those typically don't have a mint mark, the valuable ones come with a unique error. Some of these pennies were struck using the wrong planchet or had doubling errors that make them extremely rare. We're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime kind of find. The one that sold for $1.8 million? It had a near-perfect misstrike, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. Alright, this is the fun part. Grab any 1991 penny you have and check for these things. This means it was made in Philadelphia. But not every no-mint mark penny is valuable. It needs other features. 2. Double die error. Look at Lincoln's face, the date, or the words, "In God We Trust." If any of these look slightly doubled, you might be onto something. If your penny looks a little off in color or weight, you might have a rare error coin. If you see anything unusual, don't go spending it on a vending machine snack just yet. Take it to a professional coin appraiser. So, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck it rich. A few years ago, I found a 1991 penny that looked kind of weird, slightly darker and thicker than usual. My heart was racing. I was already picturing my future millionaire life, new car, fancy vacations, maybe even a pet tiger. Okay, maybe not the tiger. I took my rare penny to a coin dealer, all excited, and he gave it one look before saying, "Yeah, this is just a dirty penny." Ouch. Turns out, someone probably just spilled soda on it, and I had spent the whole week thinking I was going to be the next big coin collector success story. Lesson learned, always verify your finds with an expert. Why you should start checking your change. The crazy thing is, people really do find valuable coins in everyday places. There was a guy who found a rare penny in his couch cushions. Another person got one in their grocery store change. Imagine paying for a pack of gum and getting back a penny worth over $1 million. That's better than winning the lottery. Nickels, dimes, quarters, even dollar coins can be worth big money if they have the right errors. So, get in the habit of checking your spare change. You never know what you might find, alright, so now you know why the 1991 no mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a small fortune. The next step? Go check your coin collection. Who knows, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. If you found this video helpful, or if you just enjoyed my embarrassing penny story, hit that like button and subscribe. I post videos all the time on valuable coins, rare finds, and how to turn your spare change into serious cash, and if you ever do find a rare coin, drop a comment below, I'd love to hear your story.